All I want to do is be in a house and have tons of 3000K grow lights. Hey you guys, welcome back. So we have tons of mail to go through today, including a few things that I am super excited about. So the first thing that I want to show you guys, I got from my good friends at Roehampton Orchids here in Canada, and I'm going to be inserting some footage of me opening that box over here. But I ordered some new jewel orchids through them, and I said in my previous jewel orchids video that they are very good at winter packaging, and they are truthfully so good at winter packaging. So all of these beautiful jewel orchids arrived in such good condition, and now I've potted them up so I can show you how I've kind of put them into some new terrariums. Here's a few of them looking really nice and pretty, and I've got them in my greenhouse. And then I also found this super cool little glass orb at a local greenhouse, and I'm so in love with it. It has a little stand that it comes and sits on, so you can kind of prop it up. But there is more of those beautiful jewel orchids. So I kind of made a whole pot here of sanderiana frost, and a patola in the back there. I'm hoping that this will fill out really nicely, and the pop of green is just so bright against the blue glass. And these ones I am going to try to not grow in my greenhouse just to see how they do, because if this is nice and full and all green like that, I'd love to have that just like in a living room space. So I am trying to grow these outside of the greenhouse and seeing how they compare, because I have these varieties in the greenhouse as well. And they also sent me a little bag of tree fern, which you use when you're planting. And they said that it's just a really great medium and that they're really liking it. So they wanted me to give it a try. So for anyone who has jewel orchids and is experimenting with mediums, the tree fern sounds like it's going to be a really good option. Plus, I actually really like how that looks. It's got like a nice, just kind of a earthy tone to it, which will contrast the plants really nicely. So in comparison to just your sphagnum moss, which doesn't really have an attractive look, this tree fern should be a really nice contrast and really make those plants stand out a lot more. So I'm excited to test it out and top dress with it. And this one just arrived and I'm very excited about it, but I wanted to try the Soltec grow lights because they are like a house light. So essentially they make attractive grow lights that you can use in your home. So I got a dimmable one and I'm super excited to give this a go. So here's kind of what it looks like in the box. This was expensive and the quality you can really tell. It's super heavy and there's kind of the aesthetic of it. Just a nice light. I just got a bulb for now to try it because I figured I could put this into some kind of cool fixture or something, or just use it alone, but just to test out how well it works, I wanted to just buy the cheapest bulb they had. This was still not cheap, but I am so excited to try this. So even in my home, I find kelvins to be really important, like light warmth, because I like a warm light. It just makes the space feel so much cozier. And these are only 3000 kelvins, which is kind of typical, 3000, 2700 if you're going for like the incandescent bulb look. But this is great. It'll blend in a home and you won't be able to tell it's a grow light. So super excited. Again, they also sell some different, more styled versions of this, but this guy is kind of the most inexpensive version that they sell. Okay, and now I got a few more fun things. So there is a plant company on Amazon. They're called VIVOSUN. And they sent me a bunch of things to try out. So they sell kind of a lot of basic gardening tools at pretty good prices. And we do a lot of semi-hydro and hydroponic growing. So I grabbed some of these little plastic cups. They're great for if you use like leca or like a non-soil medium while you're propagating in water. So I grabbed some of these and they feel really great quality compared to the ones that I can buy locally. So that little box came with a bunch of those and some cute little labels for them. I will occasionally propagate with leca. I mentioned in my soil video that I'm not a huge leca fan, but it is pretty convenient for when you're doing like a hydro, semi-hydro propagation to help kind of prop up those plants. But sometimes, honestly, I'll just use an empty net pot in there. You could also use those with just like a tray of standing water with perlite. That's kind of how I've propagated my anthuriums in the past, but usually the anthuriums that I'm planting are quite large, but you could take a look. That's my first video ever on this channel that I showed that. And they also sent me these hanging planters, and I'm really impressed with these because I find that hanging planters, so often they're either too heavy and then you can't hang them off of like your curtain rod like we all want to, or they look cheap, or any number of different things. But they actually come in 2 different sizes. They have that kind of like wicker look. They honestly look pretty nice. They can also be set up to be self-watering if that's your thing. That's not really my thing. I prefer to be the helicopter plant parent. They come with a nice little chain to hang them, which again makes them look a little more expensive. And I've already potted up a plant in the smaller one. So there's a lipstick potted up into one, but you can see it looks really, really nice. And it's honestly a really good price for the 2 of them. And the chains are nice, got a nice metal hook, and just generally an attractive planter. So I have this one hanging in the living room now. And another issue that I was having are my hygrometers were kind of starting to fail on me. So I did ask if I could try out one of their hygrometers, and it's a good one. It gives you a lot more readings than the original hygrometers that I've been using. And you can actually see there the high and low. Now that we're in my living room, of course, we're sitting right near the very low, but 99% because I've been keeping it in my greenhouse. And the power kicked off last night with a big storm and turned my fans off, so it got a little muggy in there last night. But this is working really, really well so far. I've had it for about a week now running in there and no complaints. So I have switched over to this hygrometer, and I'm also testing the Govee Bluetooth one as well. And both seem to work pretty good. The Bluetooth is cool and also not that convenient, honestly, because you have to be connected to your Wi-Fi to be connected to it. So it's not like you can read it from afar anyways. So if I'm away for the weekend, I like to be able to check on my greenhouse. I like to be able to open up that smart app and check to see that my fans are on, that the fountain has turned on, that the grow lights are turned on, everything's turning off at night, all that jazz. I like to see that. So the Bluetooth Govee hygrometer that I grabbed, it works when you're near it, but from a distance, it doesn't really give me what I was thinking it might. So this is definitely a good, not too expensive alternative to the ones I was previously using. And the final thing that is honestly like not really possible to unbox in this apartment. So my friends over at Spider Farmer have sent me a grow tent to give a test. And it looks really, really nice. Like, I'm really excited about this. So we are moving at the beginning of February. I've mentioned we did buy a house. So I will actually have the space to set up a proper grow tent to run all my propagations in, so that I can actually keep all my pretty greenhouses full of my beautiful plants. So I'm super, super excited about this. And I can't really give this a proper review until we're in the new place and I've had a chance to actually build it. But it does feel really, really good quality. It's got kind of like an interesting lining to it. You can tell just by looking at this thing that they've definitely done a good job with the quality on it. So I am really excited to get this set up and see how it all looks. But I will certainly be doing at some point, once that's all set up, a video of the propagation grow tent / our little hydroponics setup. But thank you to Spider Farmer, because now my little shop will really have a nice setup for all my beautiful plants. And I think that that's everything that I have to show you guys today. If you're here in Canada, definitely head on over to roehamptonorchids.ca. They are awesome guys. They have great plants. And they do such a good job. You can really tell these guys take a lot of care and they do a great, great job with their shop. So certainly check them out if orchids are your thing. They sell jewel orchids as well as a number of other orchids. And I will certainly give you guys some update videos on some of these things as I use them. Like this, I'm so excited. I can't wait. So I will end this video here. Definitely head on down and subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see some updates on some of these. And thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, you guys.